The 3 firefighters who died in a blaze at the Bank of Lisbon building in the Johannesburg CBD last week will be remembered at a memorial service at the Ellis Park Arena in Johannesburg today. Simpiwe Mropane, Katutselo Mwedi and Mduduzi Ndlovu, together with their colleagues, were trying to put out the fire that started on the 23rd floor of the building housing 3 provincial government departments.
Meanwhile, traffic will be diverted on certain roads in the Johannesburg CBD this morning for the wreath-laying ceremony of the 3 fallen firefighters.
And staying with that story, our reporter Mangoba Mkunu is in Johannesburg in the CBD, where the wreath-laying ceremony of the 3 firefighters who died in the building fires is underway. Mangoba, what has happened so far?
Well, Desiree, I can tell you certainly that it's a hive of activity here outside the Bank of Lisbon this morning, as hundreds of firefighters have come to pay tribute to 3 of their colleagues who lost their lives here at this building last week in that fateful fire that took place here last week Wednesday. And of course, as you can understand, the mood very somber amongst many of them, some of them who were also involved in trying to distinguish that blaze. And of course, I can tell you just now, just looking at the side, it's a hive of activity. Most of them are gathering here, some are singing. For many, of course, it's become more of a celebration than a somber occasion. Some of them saying that they're here to really pay tribute to the bravery of these firefighters that gave their all to ensure that they do their job and that that fire is extinguished last week Wednesday. And of course, many of them saying that this is an opportunity for them to really pay homage to them, and also an opportunity for their work to also kind of be put on the spotlight in terms of what they face on a daily basis. But as you can see behind me, it's a lot of activity happening here. There are marches that are happening here. There is groups, different groups that are singing here. All of them are firefighters that have come here to pay tribute to their colleagues. Of course, most of them, as you can see, singing. For them, it's not a sad occasion. It's an occasion where they say they just want to pay tribute to those fallen heroes. What we do expect to happen in a short while from now is that the mayor of the city of Johannesburg, Kevin Mashaba, as well as the MMC for Safety, Michael San, among those that will be in attendance here to come and do a wreath-laying ceremony here outside. But that will first of all be preceded by a guard of honor that will be done by some of the firemen who are here to pay tribute to their fallen colleagues. But before we get to the program, let's speak to Nana Khatebe, who is from the Johannesburg Emergency Services, about what's expected to happen here. Nana, if you can just first of all begin with what's expected to happen today. We know that there will be a wreath-laying ceremony that will take place today, but before that, there are some formalities that will happen here.
Before we lay the wreath, we're going to have a guard of honor, and we're going to honor those that have fallen. We have teams from their stations, those that were with them on the day. They are going to go where they have died, and we're going to have the MMC together with the mayor to lay the wreath for our fallen heroes.
But surely, Nana, it's a bit of a difficult occasion for you. I know that you are also here on the first day when this fire broke out. How has it been for you as firefighters dealing with this tragedy?
It's quite emotional. You can imagine today we have all the families and everyone, the colleagues. We even have people from surrounding metros and other fire departments from Gauteng. It's very emotional. The team that was with him, most of them are out of the hospital, and it's the first time that they come back here. Their reaction was very emotional because they couldn't believe that this is where the lives of their colleagues had to end.
And of course, I'm sure it also must be very difficult for the families. You have been in contact with the families. How are they doing in this time?
It's very difficult for the families. They wanted to come here on the second day when they had to come see where their sons, their husband have fallen. It's very difficult for them, but we are with them 100% and will give them the full support.
With regards to the families, are they going to be here at this ceremony that's taking place here, and what can we expect from the memorial service also that's going to be taking place later?
We are going to be bringing in the families here. Just when we lay the wreath and honor the fallen heroes, they are part of the ceremony. But when we get back at the Standard Bank Arena, they will start with proceedings where their fellow firefighters will be able to give them a farewell and say their goodbyes, and also the MMC and the mayor as well.
Okay, thank you. Let's hold it there, Nana, for now. As you can see, it's a hive of activity here behind me. Some of those firefighters here who are here gathered outside trying to come and pay tribute to their colleagues that lost their lives in this fire. Of course, gathered here behind me saying that they want to be part of this event. They want to honor those men and women who died. And of course, just to show you also on this side, there are different groups of firefighters that have gathered here. We are hoping to speak to one of those firefighters who was involved in this fire. We were going to speak to him now, but he seems to have he had to go and get ready for the event that's going to take place. But we are hoping to bring you his testimony of what he saw that day unraveled here at the Bank of Lisbon as this ceremony to lay those leads and to pay homage to those 3 fallen firefighters takes off.
Mangoba, it looks like quite an electric environment where you are, but just the sheer size of people who are there, is it giving you a sense of how big the Joburg Fire Department is?
Well, Desiree, it's very difficult to hear your questions right now because of the noise. You can imagine there's a lot of singing that's happening here. But what I can say is that we have spoken to one of those firefighters who was here, and he relayed a short story of how he had braved, how he had literally went inside that building, even though he was not working on that day. And he said that he did this because one of his friends was inside this building. So he says that he was one of the people who saw those firefighters who lost their lives. And he says that he's really been left traumatized by this event. He says that it's very hard, especially now that he has to come back to this building. But he's hoping that today's ceremony, as well as the memorial service, will offer some sort of condolences to them, as well as the families. And in this trying time, he's saying that they're still looking for answers. They want people to be held accountable for the loss of lives that happened in this building. But of course, we are yet to hear from the mayor as well as the MMC, Michael Son, about who really should be held accountable. We know that families are looking for answers. Families are also trying to find closure with regards to the deaths that happened here.
Ngoba Mkhunu is in the Joburg CBD where multiple events are taking place to remember the 3 firefighters who passed away while trying to put out a fire in the center of Joburg.